So good to have you back. That was a moment with Honorable Peter Okim, the state chairman of IPMAN. And now sliding into very different sphere now. I'd like to introduce my next guest. Is the immediate past mayor of Calabar Municipality and currently the Director General of Cross River State Infrastructure Development Agency. I have here with me on set High Chief Honorable Dr. Efefio Nta Eke. Honorable, so good to have you join us.
Thank you very much. Thank you, North US.
And let me say congratulations on your very recent appointment. That was well deserving. Well deserving.
Thank God for everything.
Okay, so let's quickly hit the nail on the head. Let's look at Cross River State Infrastructure Development Agency. What is your agency all about?
Okay, thank you once again so very much for having me on the show this evening. I want to also applaud His Excellency the Governor of Cross River State for finding me worthy to man this position, having looked at perhaps my track record as the late past local government chairman for Calabar Municipal Council area. We're here for infrastructure revolution, and it's a very critical role in government. Owing the fact that without infrastructure, the state is definitely in all parts. So fueling smart city development, I think infrastructure here is about reshaping the way we live, the way we work, the way we interact with our urban environment. And it goes a long way to give a scorecard for whatever administration that is on board. And we thank God we have a governor that has a fair idea of what the meaning of infrastructure is for his constituents, because without infrastructure, like I said earlier, you cannot have a good government. Infrastructure is more or less the basic needs of the people, which has to do with light, provision of pipe-borne water, good roads, and what have you, before you even talk about the structural infrastructure. And I think the governor is bent on delivering this mandate. And that's why I'm given this position to go in and act in that direction.
Now, talking of structures, the last 8 years, we noticed that a lot of structures in the state suffered a lot were in deplorable state, like the state library, even where the current office of His Excellency and a few other, status structures. Now, we notice that since the advent of this administration, we see that life is being injected into those structures that were, hitherto, I should use the word death. So I'd like you to talk to us. How far have we gone with the library, the governor's office, and coming to talk of the road, because that one is just amazing on its own. Talk to us about the recent infrastructural development that we have in the city center.
Okay, let me dwell holistically on the revolution of infrastructure in the state. I think the governor is doing a whole lot, and he's a result-oriented person. He's one man whose political antecedent has spelled clearly well. And I think while we were campaigning for him to become the governor of Cross River State, we did not just campaign for the party. We looked at who the governor was. He served in the National Assembly in 12 different consecutive years. 8 years in the lower chambers and 4 years in the upper chambers. And his scorecard till tomorrow is still yet unbeaten. And administratively wise, I think this man has served in the private sector and has a lot of administrative experience put together. So if you have this kind of human character manning the government house to be, you should just go to sleep, because you know that he's going to deliver on his mandate. Having mentioned most of these components, infrastructure has basically 3 critical components where I am coming in. One is the safety regulatory component, which has to do with the right of way for the laying of installation of masts and a lot of cables passing on the ground and all of that. It's just an aspect. It has also to do with the asset management of government. It's just an aspect which is a composition of the infrastructural structure, and also the works component that has to do with the construction, that has to do with renovation, maintenance, and what have you. So the governor has empowered us in that direction, and I think in no distant time, you will begin to see the reactivation of the assignment the governor has actually given to us. In the area of state library, we've not actually really commenced, but I know that contract was awarded and to Hens Company, and we also trying to interface with the contractors who this contract were awarded before appointment came. We came on board on the 5th of March, about 2 months to do, which is very, very significant as well. And I want to believe that we've not actually started anything very, very effectively. We're at the surface level, but I owe you and the entire Cross Riverian the responsibility of ensuring that the assignment the governor has given to us will be met. We're going to deal with it squarely. We are not going to leave any stone unturned. That assurance is there. You can fall back to when I was a local government chairman. These things that we're able to put in place even without the direct support from government. You need to think out of the box. The government really needs people who are very active, who are proactive, who are very, very critical in terms of evaluation and analysis. And I want to reassure you that having given this opportunity to me, I take it as a privilege, very, very privilege, and I need to go into the field and deliver on that assignment.
Very well. Talk to us about the road. I mean, every Cross Riverian now that even visitors, they are super excited with the level of resurfacing of most of our roads in Calabar. Yesterday, Marian, had part of this infrastructural development. I would like you to tell us the speed that the government is using to fix our roads.
I initially said that the government itself is a proactive, result-oriented person, and he is one man who works with a kind of a realization spot where you have to use the right shovel for the right job. And government is continuing. We started the whole of this democracy, realistically during 1999, where you have the likes of Donald Duke manning the situations, and it was key for the state because there was critical revolution in terms of infrastructure. He brought a lot of development in the area. After 8 years, he had a successor who was in the person of Senator Lely Moki, who also dwelled on rural development. He did a lot of infrastructural works in the rural areas. He also, at some point, did not really continue with the ideas and vision of the immediate past, of the then immediate past governor, that is his predecessor. And there was some level of disconnect at that level, and that is why that was actually what gave birth to a decaying state of most of our infrastructures in the state. Now, Ayade also came in, the immediate past governor, who was also supposed to critically follow up immediately, continue the government in the vision of the immediate past, the then immediate past governor. But I think Ayade did his revolution also in the industrialization kind of infrastructure, which was very critical as well. And the present governor is not coming with anything very fresh or anything very new. If you look at most of the roads that were created, except those very key roads that were raised to be very critical before, while we're using it for campaigns, particularly about one particular road that was named after my father, the Efiete Junction axis that helped him. Today, if you go, you hardly find traffic in Efiete because that road helps in decongesting traffic around that area. It was one of those very critical areas we asked of him, please, as soon as you come into office, help us do this road. And it formed part of our campaign, appeals. But at the end of the day, it wasn't up to 6 months in office. The governor was able to give us that road. And today, it's really helping us. Lightings everywhere. So you could see the revolution in the sector of infrastructure very, very strong. So for what you're seeing today, the government is not doing anything fresh. It's just consolidating on the political gains. Those roads that were there and were decaying, perhaps substandard jobs were done, contracts were given to people and they were not giving back to the system, realistically what the system were expecting. You go collect money and you refuse to deliver. The governor is now critically citing those areas and saying, this is my mandate. I want to go back to reconnect these 3 governors, these 3 administrations that have come and gone. with all the visions they had, the governor is now side by side reconstructing and reconnecting, repositioning the state in that light. So what you're seeing, the revolution in terms of road construction, is one of those things that the governor had vowed. Because if you look at the highway, it's taken some time since Donald Liel came, did a little job, Ayade, but the governor is putting his best to ensuring that whatever is done should be the desired quality that is formed in your bill of quantity. You cannot just come and say this one is in the bill and then you go to the road and do a different thing. And that is why there is critical supervision ongoing right now. If we find any contractor that is not living up to expectation, we write back to the government, we don't need this person because the person has failed. So those are the things we're doing. The government has also come up by appointing special advisor, project monitoring and evaluation. I think these components are coming together to work to ensure that we give the best back to the state government.
Great. Now, DG, sir, let's quickly find out, because you are DG in charge of Cross River State Infrastructure Development. It cuts across the 18 local governments.
Yeah.
So, are we going to just focus infrastructure development here in the city center, or is it going to cut across the entire length and breadth of the state?
Calabar Municipal is why you see us really getting active here is because this is the capital city, and if you don't get it right here, you may not get it right in other LGAs. But as we speak, the governor is bent on decentralizing this development across the 18 LGAs, because tomorrow you will also go back to campaigns in all of these areas. You should tell them, as a governor, what did you do to us? Or what did you give to us? As sitting governor, we had bad roads, you did not come in. So the governor is bent on ensuring that the 18 local government areas are beneficiaries of these, ideas, these gestures, which are very, very pragmatic in nature.
So, Honorable, 24 days from today, exactly 24 days from today, His Excellency will be marking his first year in office. And as a build up to the 29th of May 2024, what would be your assessment of this administration so far?
Well, for me, I think the governor, present governor, Prince Bassey, to His Excellency, has no story to tell anyone, because his performance should be coming from the streets. Everyone is happy. The reinstallation of the street lighting. A lot of the nightlife in Calabar metropolis is active. A lot of activities are ongoing in the state. Security, tackling of these insurgencies, tackling of all these social vices around the metropolitan area, I think is critical. And the man has used the security agencies are very more active in this administration, in fact, than every other administration, the way it is, because you really will find, you talk about kidnapping case in the metropolis for a long time. You really will also find armed robbery in the metropolitan area, and across other areas, So I think the governor has no story to tell anybody. It is the grassroots feedback that should be able to tell us the story about the present administration. And I want to assure you that what is coming from the street as a feedback is 100% positive, owing the fact that the governor has delivered already on his mandate. So I want to appeal to His Excellency not to stop halfway. He should continue to hit the nail on the head, drive the proper call. We are already there.
Great. Before I let you go, Doctor, let's quickly get your words for Cross Riverians as we get ready to celebrate the first anniversary of this administration. What will be your word to Cross Riverians, especially those watching us right now?
Well, the viewers out there, the entire Cross Riverians across board, I want to thank you so very much for being patient enough to believe in the government of the day. I want to let you believe that the government will not fail you. The government is already on his lane to victory, to ensuring that the state succeeds across board. So the government is doing its part. It is expected that the recipients of this product of the government be patient enough to position themselves and then receive this goal that is coming from the seat of government, led by His Excellency Prince Bassey, a supersonic character. We believe in him so much.
Thank you very much. High Chief Honorable Dr. Efefiong Taike, Director General, Cross River State Infrastructure Development Agency. It was indeed a great moment having you on our show today. We really hope that we'll still be having you before we have the proper 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
All right. Stay with us. And now, the next person the next guest I'm about bringing on the show is, superintendent over a very turbulent ministry in the state. Stay with us and don't go anywhere. Weekend Politics return shortly. Stay.